Hello physios, get back to my channel SPN. In previous video we have completed first 6 cranial nerves. Today we will complete the remaining 6 cranial nerves. As it is interested to see this slide, talking about the facial nerve. The face is the mirror of the mind. It is said by Jerome. If we go on entering into the facial nerve detail, how do you examine? Before that examination, there are four main components of the facial nerve, and there are brachiomotor, superior salivary nucleus, lacrimatory nucleus, and the nucleus of the tractus solitarius to gustatory. These are your four main components of the facial nerve. And how do we examine? First, we examine at the cardo tympani of the anterior two-third of the tongue by adding a small quantity placed on the anteriorly of the which is the protruded tongue, and the patient should not speak so that it might be any sweet, salty, bitter, sour. We can do in this sensory examination. And the facial expressions, if we talk about in motor expression, these are the muscles with some expressions. Look here, it is levator labii superioris and levator angi oris. It is about the sadness, and this is about corrugator supercilii and proxerus. It is about frowning, tells about the frowning of the expression. And when you are smile by watching a TV or any joke, it is about zygomaticus major. And while you are enjoying, if any dialogue comes in television, we go and whistling in theaters, it is all about the buccinator muscle. And here interesting risorius, it is rarely it will happen the facial expression. It is done by the pulling the corner of the mouth. It is laterally side. It is about risorius muscle. Next, if we enter into the orbicularis oris, it is about pursuing the mouth. And any surprise, it comes your frontalis muscle. Next, if we go on entering into the vestibulocochlear examination, before entering that, it has vestibulocochlear. Here vestibulo, it is for equilibrium, coordination, and cochlear, it is about the hearing. First, we'll go for whispering and balancing. It is done by, you need to be, if a therapist is there, if a therapist will be testing to the patient, now I am going to whisper a number or a word or a sentence. So, the patient should be repeated. That is the whispering and balancing. This is a basic to be done in cochlear component, and meanwhile you need to be, if hearing is impaired, you need to be examination of external meatus and tympanic membrane with the otoscope to eliminate some pus or wax in the ear. Now, if we go on the two main tests, that is your Weber's test and Raynaud's test. Weber's test, you need to have a tuning fork and the hammer. Knee hammer. You need to be hit to the knee hammer, and you will be sensation of your vibrating. You need to place a tuning fork at the center of forehead, or it might be against the vertex also, and ask the patient if you hear any sound in one ear. Then if we difference between the conductive and nerve deafness, conductive deafness talks about sound is louder in affected ear, when nerve deafness, the sound is louder in the normal ear. That is your Weber's test. If we are talking about Raynaud test, it is a test between the air conduction and bony conduction. In this, what will happen? You need to have a hammer and you need to have a tuning fork. Tuning fork must be hit to the hammer, then you will vibrating, immediately placed at the mastoid process. Tell me when it stops. Then after it stopping, then bring it to the ear. It means you can do both on the mastoid process, that is your bone conduction, and after stopping you can be also here in the your here, that is your in air. it is conduction between the bony conduction and air conduction. So when it is the sound disappears, that you should also be noted. The patient should hear sound again, since air conduction through passes through the ossicles, it is better. It means air conduction is greater than bone conduction. If you talk about the deafness in conduction, bone conduction is better than air conduction. In nerve deafness, both bone and air conduction are diminished. It means both are gets impaired up. This is about the Riney test. If we talk about the next glossopharyngeal nerve, it is ninth cranial nerve. We talk about the gag reflex. It is about motor examination. With the help of spatula, you need to be depress the patient's tongue, and you need to be touch the soft palate on the one side until the patient gags. If there is no gag or absent of gag reflex, you might be it might be any cause of loss of sensation, that is your gag reflex. You can do sensor examination placing on the salt or sugar at the posterior one third of tongue. It can be done as sensory examination. Next, if we go enter into the vagus nerve, which is most important, 10th cranial nerve, ask the patient to open the mouth and say ah. Then you can see noting that palatal movements. You can see the position of uvula, it might be displaced. This examination should be done by placing the torchlight into the mouth. Then you can see the palatal movements. You can see the position of uvula, it might be displaced due to the opposite side, or it might be indication of unilateral 10th cranial nerve palsy. If uvula is pulled to normal side, you can gently be tested the gag reflex also, as 9th and 10th cranial nerves will do simultaneously. Accessory nerve, it can be done by two muscles, trapezius muscle and sternocleidomastoid. What the therapist will say in trapezius, you need to be shrug your shoulders up, you need to be push up against the therapist hand. Therapist will pull down, but the patient should be shrug your shoulders and pushing up against the therapist hand. Then you need to be done on bilaterally and compare the power on each side. Then sternocleidomastoid, what the action of sternocleidomastoid, actually it is for lateral flexion and opposite side rotation. What you need to do, you need to be ask the patient to rotate head against the resistance, and you need to be compare the muscle bulk on each side, that is right side and left side, and pulling the head forward against the resistance. You need to do this two actions, lateral flexion and opposite side rotation, and the therapist will give the against the resistance. This is done by the accessory nerve examination. When coming into the hypoglossal examination, it is about the checking of your tongue movements. The therapist will check up your wiggle your tongue. It means side to side. If you keep your tongue straight, if it might be any deviation to left side, it means left side it is gonna to be affected. There is some weakness to the affected side, to the left side. So you need to be inspect your tongue, doing some small wriggling movements, or it might be any weakness of the muscle also. Ask the patient to protrude the tongue. If any difficult, it might be deviation. This is done by the hypoglossal nerve. And these are your remaining 6 cranial nerves examination. Thanks for watching SPN.